Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Furret in the Retro Cup. This Pokemon is going to be very interesting as you're going to have Sucker Punch on this Pokemon, which got recently buffed to be a counter clone from when counter still was decent. Speaking of counter, we're also going to have the Annihilate here, not Primeape, Annihilate with counter, which is not as great anymore, but still very solid. And the new move Rage Fist against another Annihilate against us here as well, which is kind of hilarious because the opponent makes a huge mistake by letting the first move go through, because this allows us now to counter them down. Go for the shield here, Rage Fist going and shield up, and we're going to have a ton of energy, which is sadly not going to be able to use here in the first battle. So, again, I'm still a little bit sick, but I think my voice sounds a little bit better already, but I still don't really want to push it too hard, so again, I'm going to talk a bit quieter, which some people liked, some people maybe don't. But as you will see here, the opponent is going to have a very interesting water bug team here with two water and bug type Pokemon on the back, which I actually like. I think it's an interesting idea. One thing they have to note though as well, I see way less Oranguru than I expected, and I think the main reason for this is that people just want to counter this Pokemon, which I do as well, which is the main reason why people don't run this Pokemon too often. Anyway, we're going to have Furret here, and the opponent sadly forfeits in the first battle, but maybe we're going to be able to see a little bit more in the second one. Funny enough, the opponent that we are battling here right now is an opponent that I face nearly every video, I feel like, at the current Ela range, so shout out to you. I definitely know your name quite well at this point, but as you'll see here, they're going to have their Marowak, they're going to be able to go for their own Bone Club, and that is fine. We can use a shield, fully farm them down, realign ourselves, have some energy, and hopefully going to be able to do some solid damage. Let's see what's coming in next. It is going to be the opponent's Jumpluff. And again, we're going to run Ice Punch on our Annihilate. It's the same as Primeape in the video before, basically. As you saw already in the video before, the Ice type coverage is really, really good in the current meta. And as you will see as well, the opponent is going to reveal that they're going to have, of course, the Dunsparce here. Dunsparce is fine for us. We're going to be in a very solid spot now. The last Pokemon from the opponent is very, very low. We're going to be able to just go ahead and take the hits here. The run is not going to two-shot us either. And with this, we're going to have a very good position that we can definitely try to win the battle in. As you will see, we're going to be able to just, outspam them as well. Like Body Slam takes 35 energy, Driven takes 45 energy, making it definitely a little bit easier for us to get to the move. We swap out, they swap out, we swap back in, we want to be able to go for another Body Slam. But at this point, Furret doesn't even need to really hit the field here, because I'm very certain we're just going to be able to knock out the opponent with just two of our Pokemon, and it's going to be fine. We can move on to the next opponent. Dragonair. This Pokemon is going to be interesting. We have a little bit of lag in the beginning. I'm very certain they got a little bit of free fast moves there, like one or two, like nothing too crazy, but you definitely saw like the frame drop for the opponent, like for me there. As we will see, the Dragonair now trying its best against us. We're gonna be able to let the move go through. Awkward Tail is the best thing that they can go for. Body Slam is actually kind of wasted on this Pokemon nowadays. I would rather recommend you maybe to even go for the Dragon Pulse on the Dragonair. As, Body Slam 50 damage. Yes, there are going to be some matchups where, of course, something like Awkward Tail is going to be resisted. For example, against Dragon-type Pokemon, where Body Slam maybe has some play. But having a stab, harder hitting move, I think, on the Dragonair might be the way to go forward with. But anyway, we're going to see the Goodra going for a charge move here. We were able to use a shield against. And oh, look, Altaria is coming in. Triple Dragon team from the opponent, as said before as well in a video. That is actually very solid to play. The issue just is for Triple Dragon teams. It's not the Fairy type Pokemon. It is not the Steel type Pokemon. It's the Ice type Pokemon. As we're going to have Ice type charge move here as well on our Annihilate. We are going to be quite in a solid spot. At this point, I can just sacrifice my Miltank, which I was hoping that would get some damage in, which I didn't. But Furret is definitely going to take it. And as we'll see as well for Furret, the recommended moveset is actually Dig on this Pokemon, but they're running Hyper Beam. And I do think Hyper Beam is the correct play, which you're going to see later on as well. I don't think there was a single situation where I was really wanting to have Dig on this Pokemon, especially after the recent nerf of Dig. And so we can move on now to the next opponent. It's going to be the Goodra here against us, which is going to be okay. We have the Miltank coming back in here. We sadly don't run Ice Beam on this Pokemon. Ice Beam might be a bit better than Thunderbolt, I have to admit. But again, like for me, the charge moves are a little bit of an issue. Maybe I'm going to be able to get a few during the next event. Well, I'm not going to be able to really play the one on the weekend. I still actually might be able to get some raids done because I am having access to 2 gyms nearby me. But the thing is as well, which I kind of want to talk as well a little bit about, if you didn't know yet, there is currently a new feature in Pokemon Go, at least it's live for me, where you're able to go into your friend list and join anyone's raids that you have on the friend list, which is really, really cool without them inviting you. This is a very cool feature from Pokemon Go. You definitely should check it out if you want to use some remote raids. It's an easy one for sure. Right now I just opened it up. I have 5 invites currently that I like are not direct invites, but I can just join them of like 3 different Pokemon as well, which is kind of funny. The thing is, I feel like it's kind of interesting that we have like a feature like this now, because it's completely against Niantic standpoint. Like for remote raids, they made it more expensive so people do less remote raids. Now we have like 2 new features basically where we're going to be able to do remote raids easier. That's Niantic for you. But anyway, you're going to see here that our Furret definitely did a great job there, farming down the opponent's Frostless with the super effective Sucker Punch. We're going to have Brick Break against the opponent's Dugong, and we're going to be able to drop their defense even further, allowing us to win this battle as the opponent decides to use a shield. One more Sucker Punch, all it takes, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a Dunsparce against us here. In comes the Feraligatr. You have 2 choices here. It is a bit better to go into the Miltank. Reason for this is a Miltank actually going to be able to take those hits quite easily. And if you're going to take a look at the Hydro Cannon, it doesn't even 2-shot me. It's not even going to be close to it, which is going to be great, allowing me to have a great matchup here. I can go for the Thunderbolt, force the shield from the opponent while also getting them lower. And we are in a very good spot, especially as we have Hyper Beam on our Ferret. And also we have Ray Twist on our Annihilape. So having a shield advantage is going to give us a lot of beneficial value later on. As you will see here, we're going to be able to use a shield. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon. And we will see the Clodsire coming in. I'm a bit sad about this one because I was hoping it would be something where I would rather need my Ferret compared to my Annihilape. Here, Annihilape is just going to be the better Pokemon to use. But what we can do here is we can go for the Ice Punch. Now, honestly, I should just let the move go through afterwards, as Ice Punch put them already into farm down range. Let's see if we're going to let the move go through. We decided to not do this. We're going to go for the Earthquake, which is sad because I wanted to play with my Ferret. But sadly, like, this is the wise play. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is the play that you should do. I don't know what I'm doing here. They just want to showcase my Ferret because the opponent is literally having no play at all here at this point. I don't know if they still have a Pokemon, never mind. We're going to be able to go for the full farm now. It's going to be a Dunsparce apparently. And you know what this means? We have super effective Brick Break, which we're never going to use. We're going to have Hyper Beam for you, my friend. And Hyper Beam is a hard-hitting move, and it's going to allow us to do a ton of stab damage against the opponent. And look at this, Hyper Beam. And it's not going to be a one-shot. They still can go for another move, but it doesn't matter because at this point of time, we're going to be able to easily win the battle. And that's going to be it for this one. We can move on now to the next opponent. Ariados in the lead. A Pokemon that is going to be a bit tricky maybe, but we're going to see if we can still try our best here. They're going to go ahead and go for the Trailblaze against us, boosting their own attack. We can swap onto the Miltank, which is going to be a great matchup generally speaking. I should have most likely went straight for the Body Slam here though. Would allow me to get some damage in before the launch, but even worse for me, they swap out now into their own Pokemon, which is a Dunsparce. And yeah, I definitely kind of misplay this matchup a little bit. I should have definitely played it a little bit differently here. Tried to go ahead and go for the Body Slam straight away before the opponent could go for a launch there, but I thought I would CMP tie against them and lose the CMP tie. That was the main reason why I went for one over. But I do think I didn't actually lose a turn from stopping out before, which is of course a little bit unusual, but yeah, it's kind of nice for us. Anyway, as we will see here, we're going to be able to go for a shield against the opponent's Dunsparce. Dreadrun is coming through. In comes Altaria. And so far I haven't seen anyone use a shield against the Ice Punch. And this will continue as nobody really expects this move apparently. But still, we are going to be able to reach another Rage Fist, force a shield now from the opponent, and we're going to get them kind of low. We can swap out into our Ferret. Ferret is going to love this matchup. I would be able to easily survive a Sky Attack or like a Moonblast as well, but I'd rather use a shield here in order to maintain a little bit of my health as I go up to one Brick Break. In comes afterwards very likely the what's called the Ariados here, and I make a bit of a mistake. I didn't know I have the energy on the onto the Miltank. If I went straight for the Body Slam, I'm fairly certain I had a great matchup here that I would have been able to win for sure without even a doubt. And now we're going to be in a little bit of a tougher spot because we have not the damage on the opponent's Ariados, and we needed the damage. We really needed the damage. And or like the shield or whatever. But as you're gonna see here, we're going to have no real play. Like literally, if either I got the damage or the shield from the opponent, then I could have just went for the Hyper Beam like this. I'm not going to be able to do that. I can try to go for another Brick Break, but I even lose the CMP here, which is kind of unfortunate. Good game there. I guess maybe here a dig would have been enough, but no, never mind. I still have a shield left anyway. Oh wow, a shiny Shadow Flygon. Shouts to my brother, by the way. This was his first shiny that he got. Swidus, if you don't know who my brother is, like regional winner. I think he has like 4 medals already in like regional events. I only have 1, Also didn't intend even as many as he did, but also he definitely spends a little bit more time at the competitive scene while I spend more time for YouTube content, which is fine, which is totally fine. And also he has an iPhone, it's easier to play on this one. I still want to get an iPhone eventually, but not anytime soon. Anyway, if you're interested in the play Pokemon tournaments, I would actually really would like to know from you guys how are you interested in the play Pokemon tournaments? Like, what is the crack with that one? I would really just know the opinion towards them. Like, is it something that you are watching? Is it something that you're interested in for content? Is it something where you're like, yeah, I don't really care at all for it? Here's the thing for me. I wish it would be a little bit more integrated to like the actual core game of Pokemon Go. Like, you cannot even test the format that's been played there in Pokemon Go unless you have like friendly tournaments organized from other people. I feel like that's wrong. I hope they're gonna change it. But you know what's also kind of crazy? Here, 3 charge moves back-to-back against the opponent Flygon, pull Flygon, having to take 2 Rage Twist and 1 Break was a bit too much for them. As you will see here, Rangaroo is going to go down and we can win this battle here quite easily. Dragonite is going to be our next opponent here. We swap out straight away as the opponent makes a great play catching the move here on the Dunsparce. It's going to be a body slam. At the end of the day, I'm not too sure if the opponent's going to like this matchup though. I guess we already got some nice Dragon Breath damage on ourselves, so it's not the worst matchup either for the opponent. As we will see, I'm gonna go ahead and go for a charge move. I was looking up at the same time here, that's why I overfarmed by that much as well. What is better, Body Slam or the Thunderbolt? And I'm honestly not too sure. And now actually looking at it, I would maybe even say Thunderbolt. In theory, Thunderbolt does less damage per energy on the opponent's Dunsparce, but the issue is, Body Slam is a spammy move. And the opponent has a 3-turn fast move, and we have a 3-turn fast move. What this means is, every single time we go for a charge move, the opponent gets a free fast move in, and while maybe a Thunderbolt is the worst move to go for based on the damage, the difference is like so slow, like so small, that I feel like that the damage that you get in and the energy that you get in for the opponent by going for cheaper moves might be actually not worth it. So I actually think for milting against the Dunsparce or like even against other normal rollout users, for example, or like any rollout user, like 3-turn fast move user, anyway, that is having the same kind of properties where both moves are neutral, it might be actually better to just go for the big hit, just in order to give the opponent less energy. And as you can see here, this might actually impact us as well. Funnily enough there, you saw the debuff, and with the debuff, the Sucker Punch got a little bit less damage from the Furret. I didn't even see this. I'm fairly certain if they didn't get the debuff on the Furret, I might be able to win the battle here. Could have maybe also fully farmed them down there as well. It maybe would have been a better play than trying to go for the boost first, but it is what it is. We can move on now to the final battle. I think that was a winnable one. This is also looking like a winnable battle here as well, as we were already seeing a great lead for us, but also we're going to see a great swap for us. We're going to have the Toxapex against us. We do neutral damage with our fast move and super effective damage with that Thunderbolt, which is going to allow us to definitely have a great matchup here. But not only this, we're also going to have a great matchup then against the opponent's Dugong afterwards. We're going to overfarm by a little bit as we can go for a Thunderbolt. This should be able to take the KO against the opponent as well. And we are going to be 1 shield down now, which can be a bit of a tricky one. They're going to go ahead and go into the Annihilate, which is a very, very difficult matchup for me because now I have to play a little bit around it. Let's see if this is going to work out. Rage Fist coming through, going to boost up themselves. I can go for my own Rage Fist. But we're in a bit of a tough spot here as the opponent decides to go ahead and go for a shield. They can go for the full Thunder, which you saw before already. If we had just a normal Annihilate, I think it might be a little bit better than a Shadow variant here for this meta. But I just don't have charged TMs or like elite charged TMs to get the move on normal Annihilates right now. So yeah, only we have the Shadow ones built. I also don't really want to invest any more Stardust because I'm kind of poor of that. Because I wasn't able to play the Spotlight Hour. Did you play the Spotlight Hour yesterday? That was definitely worth it as you had like Comey for like 1,500 Stardust. Really wanted to play this one. Couldn't play because I was too sick. But as you will see here, the opponent is going to go into their Dugong, allowing us to hopefully get the KO here soon with our Furret. But what you're going to see here as well is they deny my fast move. And this could actually be very, very good for the opponent and maybe even impactful if we're not going to be able to get to the break because of this. Turns out they would have got to the move anyway. And so sadly, we're going to lose the last battle here as well. Still, Furret was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and I will see you then. Bye-bye.